Well, hello and welcome. You're watching India Fights Back with me, Rajat Kane. In this episode, we'll discuss rising R factor or R number and what it means. Well, R number, when it comes to pandemic, refers to a mathematical interpretation that how many persons are being infected and how many of them are passing on infection to the number of person. Say for instance, if our number is 1, that means a single person infected is passing infection to one more person. Usually in a pandemic situation or in a widespread disease situation, our number, if it exceeds 1, rings an alarm bell. Whereas governments, authorities, and medical fraternity, they obviously try to keep our number below 1 or even below zero point 0.5. Here in India, there are some states where our number has increased if we speak of the number of COVID cases in last 1 month. So how far this situation is little alarming and what can be done? To discuss further on this issue, we join with Dr. Raman R. Ganga Kherkar. He is member National Task Force COVID-19. Many thanks, Dr. Kherkar, for joining us, and Dr. B.L. Sherwal, Director, Rajiv Gandhi Super Speciality Hospital, New Delhi. Many thanks, Dr. Sherwal, for being part of the show. Dr. Ganga Kherkar, sir, let me start with you. Given the R number of at least 10 states that has been flagged by center, what can you make out of the situation at this stage?
And one of the things which we have to keep at the back of mind, R0, which is when we think of current situation, it is coming to RT of more than 1 in certain states.
Right.
Now, what does it essentially mean? It would essentially mean that instead of it, infecting only one person, uh, now it is infecting more than one person. No, so if there is an index case in the family, that particular person is more likely to infect more than one individual.
Right.
Now, that's a difficult situation given the fact that you have a highly transmissible variant, which
Mm-hmm.
is found currently in 92% of the new cases that are occurring across in India,
Right.
which would essentially mean that any increase that you would have, it will grow in a geometric proportion rather than simple arithmetic that we are perhaps used to. And this is coming at the backdrop of the intervention strategies that are currently in place. We know about them that they work well, whether it is following COVID appropriate behavior or taking vaccine for every individual above the age of 18 years. If even with that, if the number keeps on increasing, we need to be worried.
Hmm. So, before I move to Dr. B.L. Sherwal, Dr. Ganga Kherkar, let me ask you one small question here, sir. If you talk of the R number, R naught, or R factor, I mean, what was the index or the R number when we experienced the second wave?
No, see what essentially when it comes to the second wave, in the second wave we were going close to 1.7 as R
Okay,
value.
okay,
Now
okay.
that's a very serious
That's
issue.
very severe,
Now,
very, very severe.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then even if no, one has to learn, and
Hmm.
ounce of prevention is better than pound of no,
Absolutely,
as
absolutely.
we say, no, when we know that if it is increasing, we must take definite precautions to try and avoid the situation that emerged earlier.
Hmm.
Now, this essentially means since this is in pockets, these pockets are not going to lead to increase in numbers like 400,000 every day, the way we saw for a couple of days or 3 days during the second wave. No, but these numbers are serious even
Hmm.
for those areas, and it doesn't take much time for the virus to move from that particular area to an adjacent area because it's finally one country. People will be moving from one place to another. So we need to be very vigilant and try to follow COVID appropriate behavior as well as taking vaccine.
Right, right. Certainly, so COVID appropriate behavior and vaccination. Whosoever is eligible must take vaccine. That is what our experts keep referring to episode after episode in this program. So please listen to experts, dear viewers, and do not listen to any unscientific, irrational explanation to either disease or remedies. Dr. Sherwal, I know numbers in Delhi by and large seems to be under control, but talking of the R factor or R naught, are there any clusters in Delhi or places where the population density or movement of people, now given like we have opened up everything, more or less everything in Delhi, so you are fairly monitoring those places so that at least the number stays below the targeted parameters?
Yeah, as of now, actually, I'll say that Delhi is comfortably, situated. Majority of the, when you see the cases, 50 or around 60 cases are coming out of 60, 70,000 being tested daily. So we have seen that there are certain pockets which are frequently coming. Out of which Sadra and this northeast uh,
Right.
pockets of the Delhi, and there are certain South Delhi also, and earlier it was West Delhi also. But now almost it is similarly placed, but very few containment zones are now there. The important thing is that whenever, like I have seen in my institute, after a gap of I think 1 month, two cases are positive, and that is a news for me actually. And I have asked my microbiologist to inform and send the sample for sequencing. So we are really concerned once we are
Right.
finding positivity after quite some time. So we need to know that from where these cases are, and if we can contain that pocket, so that will be of great help to control the ultimately the anticipated third wave which we are telling.
Right, right. So, in terms of opening up of cinema halls and public transport, metros and buses, what all precautions are in place, Dr. B.L. Sherwal? If we speak, say, particularly about Delhi.
See, these things with the time, actually, I think this is the right time to open all these activity because it is a lull period in Delhi,
Okay.
and we are really encouraged to open. Business is also equally important, and so theaters are there's no problem. Only thing is that it is a closed place, so we need to be very very cautious that 50% it should not be more than 50% sitting
Right,
capacity.
right.
The distance has to be maintained, and all the viewers which are going to watch or sit in the theater, they should be particularly asked not to have any table inside the theater and wear the mask, all the time when they are sitting there. So that is very very important because if they want to eat, they should come out of the theater and can have eats there. But
Okay.
usually we should avoid the eatables inside the theater because it is a very very closed environment there, and there are chances if we are having one person asymptomatically positive, so it will have the effect that it can transmit to other people. So that is very very important. As far
Right.
as metros and other establishments are concerned, again this density should be maintained, that not more than say like marriages or for the functions, as more than 50% people are not allowed. That is the right thing. And I have also gone and attended a function, and for I stayed there for a minimum period, which was required just for
Right,
socializing. So we should really unnecessarily should not stay there, and we should participate in the ceremonial way,
right.
and we should start moving, and the food can be served in phases instead of serving to all. I think we can take in batches, say 5, 10 people can have food
Right,
instead
sir.
of opening it for all the people together. So these are the important thing, and mask and of course sanitation is important. And I understand that दो गज की दूरी एकदम वो है,
Right, sir.
but it
So
is not
certainly, right, sir. Yeah, yeah.
important.
Mask and social, physical
Yeah.
distancing is really important. Rest.
As far as this
Yeah,
maintain
Dr. Shirwal, just stay on. Let me
Yeah,
just
but-
let me just broad base discussion and take the pan India picture here. Yeah, Dr. Ganga Kherkar, sir, I'm quoting Dr. Paul what he mentioned in the press conference yesterday. There are 8 states and union territories whose R value has risen. Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir 1.4, Lakshadweep 1.3, Tamil Nadu, Mizoram, Karnataka 1.2, Kerala and Pondicherry 1.1. Now, these are states in which at least, at least Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Mizoram happens to be the state which are fairly densely populated. So, are we seeing, or in terms of the phenomenon of increase of our number, is it mostly confined towards the population mobility, or it's beyond that?
No, population mobility and population density are extremely important drivers of the infection. So it always, it is always possible that, what do these two things will do? They will, if a person is likely to get exposure, that exposure would be higher among those who are highly mobile or who are staying in population dense areas, because then you are more likely to interact with somebody who could be potentially infected at any given point in time. That risk is comparatively lower in other parts wherever these two conditions don't exist. Now, there is another issue that we have to remember, that we are already into the second wave. Now, which would essentially mean there was earlier the proportion of people who were going out also got this particular infection, and which led to development of antibodies which are fairly protective against getting this infection again. Now, this entire phenomena therefore has two different time points. So in the first time point, when the first wave was there, the deciding factor will be what proportion of people will remain vulnerable, because for the first wave there were 100 people who were vulnerable, whereas if let's assume that there are about 20 odd people who got infected in the first wave, you would have 80% who are vulnerable. And these 80% distribution, whether they are in population dense areas or they are highly mobile, is actually going to determine the risk of acquiring this particular infection. And at the same time, the vaccination rate that is there at the backdrop of this, and also the COVID appropriate behavior which was followed by them, is likely to determine as to how quickly the number of new cases suddenly starts jumping up in these particular states. And that is essentially what we are seeing. These states which are currently having higher RT value are actually those that were spared relatively in the first wave.
Right. Right, certainly. Dr. Sherwal, just continuing to where you left in the last reply, so physical distancing and COVID appropriate behavior like wearing masks and maintaining sanitation around is a key to it. Now, if we talk of the other index, that is, vaccination, where does we stand today talking of the vaccination?
No, vaccination is, the first important thing is the, mask and physical distancing. After that, what we have is the vaccination. And vaccination, we understand that there are certain challenges for such a large population, but still, I think we are doing pretty good. And, we are, there are certain days when we are seeing that there is a shortage of vaccine. But still, I think like in Delhi, more than 1 crore doses has been already given. So it makes almost 50% people have got the vaccine. So plus when you see the population of Delhi in the second wave, there are so many people who are infected. So if combined together, so we are, we can say that the herd immunity is already there in Delhi. So combined together with the symptomatic infection, asymptomatic infection, which give rise to the protective antibodies also, and also the vaccine, whether it is a single dose, and we say that at least partially protection is there, but when there are full two-dose vaccination is there, so definitely, now awareness is there. People are coming forward, and yesterday, you have seen that God vaccination was there. So that is very, very important and encouraging that, and more vaccination are coming now. Sputnik is already there. Johnson and Johnson is going to be there very soon. Moderna is going to be there. So I feel things will change, and once we are able to give the first dose, and then after that, majority of them will be getting the second dose. I think protection will be there, and we will be able to, at least if not stop, we'll be able to delay the third wave, which we are
Okay.
anticipating. And as we have talked about the states like the RT value, we know that the basic purpose of watching this or showing the concern is that we need to contain the infection there and then only. If you know that that you have named the state Himachal Pradesh or Jammu and Kashmir, so it is really alarming. So we need to uh, have strict measure, and we need to isolate the area. Containment has to be there, so that the I do not know which strain is there, which variant is there. So we need to do the sequencing, and also increase the containment zone and have the watch on that, so that infection should not be able to pass from one state to other. We should do maximum state are now doing RT-PCR compulsory, and avoiding the mobility. Uh, I feel because of the tourism, I think
Right.
Himachal and Jammu and Kashmir people were moving
Possibly.
for so that may be one reason. But
Right. Right.
matter of
That
concern,
seems
we
to be the
would
plausible reason. Yeah.
in
Yeah. Right, sir.
yes.
Right.
In
Absolutely.
general, we say that when we have the RT value rising, and if we have it rising for 2 weeks, it means it is the chance that it is becoming a wave, that is third or fourth. So I think so we need to keep it down, and we should try all effort so that the R factors will be.
Right, right. That's important. That's important. That any R value for any given time, if it keeps on increasing for more than a fortnight or 2 weeks, it's seriously a cause of concern. Dr. Ganga Kherkar, sir, are there any areas, or rather, say, parts of India where, or rather, vaccination is still wanting? Basically, I mean, areas of high density population yet extremely low vaccination percentage.
No, I think majority of the places wherever the population density continues to be higher are in urban areas where uptake of vaccine is relatively better
Okay.
than rural areas. It's the rural areas, and these rural areas, that are around a major city where people tend to move from one place to another, the risk of exposure suddenly starts increasing.
Right.
So the risk is not uniform across, but the good part that we have to also remember that if people decide to report that they are having one or the other symptom that could be associated with COVID infection, and then they get themselves tested, the task for the state government, which also needs to be tightened up, is to go for aggressive contact tracing and try to find out as many as contacts as possible and try to test them and isolate them. Now, that's something which is extremely critical if we don't want a spillover of this infection to go across. In the essence, what I would say is we need to remember that there are certain, these signals tend to convey different messages to different people.
Right.
For the population, it is taking vaccine and following COVID appropriate behavior. And those who are symptomatic should not waste the time. On day one itself, they must go forward and get themselves tested and try to ensure that any symptomatic person doesn't mix up in the family or eats together with the family. And for the government, the local health systems that tend to exist there, is any person who's found to be positive, aggressive contact tracing and isolation of those who are infected is going to become extremely critical.
Right, certainly. So there are certain measures that we need to follow so as to keep at least the rising numbers or the possibility of another wave at bay. What we need to do first, as that's what the expert says and that's what they've been emphasizing, COVID appropriate behavior and vaccination, that is highly essential and that is how we have to go about it. Sir, as we close the show, Dr. Sherwal, I just have a minute for both of you to squeeze in terms of vaccination. Are we at this stage, are we okay? Or for instance, the gap between two doses, 12 to 14 weeks, is it something that requires a revision or it's fairly, even at this stage and successful, I would say?
Yes, as far as duration of the two doses is concerned, it is evidence-based. We have seen that data earlier. We were saying that after 28 days, the second dose was given, particularly for Covishield. Later, it was increased. So, because it has been seen that the protection is more if you increase the duration. So that is fine. And as more and more evidence will come handy, definitely from time to time, ICMR and Government of India and WHO, they revise it.
Right.
And whenever there is new finding, so I think we should immediately utilize that evidence and appropriately change the duration, whether it is to reduce or to increase. So, but it is on the science. We cannot just say that increase it by a week or so, but it is on the basis of some study. Definitely, we need to work on that. And as and when the evidence is there, the government and agencies look into it, and then definitely it should be changed.
Right. Yes, Dr. Ganga Kherkar, sir, are we okay with the current gap between the two doses of vaccine?
See, there are two things. If we are going to anticipate third wave having a short interval between second and third wave, or if we are worried about these states where the infection rates are increasing a little bit as of now, and my worry is perhaps people are not going to adhere to non-pharmacological interventions, we have to ramp up the vaccination. Now, when we say ramp up, what's the population that we have to cover? It's 45 years plus population as a priority population, so that the stress on hospital infrastructure doesn't come. Now, if I want to inoculate older people, the shorter the interval between the dosages, the better it will be, because then you have to account for non-response that tends to come with age. You need to even think in terms of two dosages given at a longer duration. So probably, one of the best ways could be you would have newer vaccines that are likely to be launched soon. One of them is also Sputnik. You have Covaxin. Sputnik you have to provide in 3 weeks' time, and Covaxin is only 28 days' time. But those options would remain open not only for the government, but also for the people to decide on their own vulnerabilities.
Right, certainly. So there we have, gentlemen, many thanks for joining us. So clearly, long and short of today's discussion, our number rising in some states and UTs is certainly a cause of concern. But what do we have in our hands? COVID appropriate behavior and vaccination. That's what the least we can do, and let's do it. Well, many thanks for joining us. So clearly, our viewers, stay tuned for more on Rajya Sabha TV. Thank you. Goodbye.